Hey, hey everybody. Hey, happy Halloween. Oh man, I'm just trying to get this set here so you could see my face. Realize over here you can't really see my face too well. Now that I got things going, how about that? So we'll put this tree over here. I think this isn't too bad over here, maybe we'll just keep it right there, huh? Okay, all right. No, maybe over here. I'm actually in the parking lot at the school. October 30th. Guess that'll work, huh? See, I wanted to, I couldn't get out here till like 7:30. Leslie Zazoo Plazz, by the way, Zazoo Plazz. And welcome, October 30th, 2022. Uh-oh. I'm seeing there's a car that has like blue headlights going down the street. It's the wildest thing. I don't know what that was all about. It looked like some kind of evil eyes coming out of it. You know, he must be into the All Hallows Eve energy here. Because, wow, look what I got. Somebody, we found this cool paper in my Dia de los Muertos sugar skull pattern. This I have on my my suitcase that I took to Arizona when I went to Tucson. I love this. I have a sugar skull next to my bed on the. For those of you who've been here a while, you know that my birthday is on November 2nd, which is Wednesday. So I like to get into the spirit of things. And I didn't want to bring the whole skull out here, so I thought I'd just bring a little flavor of it out. And so that's, I couldn't believe how quickly the time went. You know, and I think, based on the research I've been doing lately, I think I'm actually on 3 different timelines. I've been doing research in like human design and stuff, and I'm a triple split. I always knew there was, it's like having a multiple, it's not multiple personalities, it's multiple freaking identities on different timelines. There's 2 more Zazoos out there, and one probably in the past and one in the future. I've always known this, because, I miss stuff. This is why I'm late all the time. I'm sorry I'm late. I was on my other 2 timelines. So anyway, I don't know if you can see, but yeah, the moon is over there. It's a nice little crescent moon in Aquarius, which is my moon. And so my solar return would be Tuesday, I guess. So for those of you who are into astrology, your solar return is actually the day before your birthday. And then if you run a chart on that day, your sun sign stays the same. Well, it's like a degree earlier, but everything else changes. So I'm just kind of learning how to read solar return charts. It's there's always something to learn and share, And lately I've been doing a deep dive in asteroids, and then so I found out that in 1977, the day before I turned 12, they discovered the asteroid Chiron, the wounded healer. You can't make this stuff up. Like, whoa! When I was turning 12, they just discovered another asteroid, which, it's not just any asteroid. Chiron it's kind of like our boo-boo. In the Halloween theme, it's boo-boo. It's like, where you're, like if you're, I don't know, if you have, if you have a sore spot, you have a scrape or on your knee or something, or on your arm, or, you know, a spot where you got, you know, your flu protection. You know, it's a little sore. Well, that's kind of like Chiron, you know, it's like, it's a little sore. It's kind of like, that's the spot where you need to heal yourself, but you don't heal all the way. And that's where you can help heal other people. So it's the spot where you feel pain, and it's like, I feel your pain, you know? It's kind of like that. Anyway. So, oh, and the other weird thing was, we pulled this humongous, well, my husband and I were out in the backyard today. We're like, oh, the garden is kind of culminating, you know? It's sort of, it's like, all the tomato plants are kind of, you know, we've been covering the mums because it's been cold at night, but the rest of the garden has kind of been exposed, so that we've harvested almost the last of tomatoes. We took the ones that were ripe, and we have a few of the green ones we still have to harvest. But we pulled this humongous, like, mutant carrot out of the garden, and I'll put a picture of it. It's pretty scary because it's been growing since like May when I planted them, or April, I don't know, April or May, and it's like contorted, and it's, you know, so I don't know if I'm going to eat it, but it sure is fun to post up there and, you know, kind of have fun with. Anyway, I'll just leave that there. Yes, so super carrot. Oh, Zacchaeus. I'm reading the readings for today, because that always jump starts me thinking, you know. I don't know what it is about the Bible. You know, I read all this other stuff. I'm so tuned in to energies. But you know, I have such a foundation in Christianity that I always seem to start there. So I'm like, oh, Zacchaeus, mercy, compassion, slow to anger. Oh, that's kind of what I've been, you know, thinking. Like the anger part, right? Frustration and anger. So when you get into human design, it's like everything smushed into one. Some guy came up with this. I'm just reading about it. So you know, you put in your birth date, and then you get like a picture of a torso, and it's kind of like all the chakras, all the chakras. But they kind of like throw in some quantum stuff and some you know, like, I don't know. It's the I Ching. It's all these symbols, and I downloaded it. I'm like, oh my God, how am I gonna read this thing? It was like learning a foreign language. Like, what does this mean? What does that number mean? Oh my gosh, I have this color and this little bubble, and this isn't connected to that, and this is wide open. What does that mean? And you know, I had some, like, looked like a roulette wheel. Like when I was a kid, my grandfather had this, like, it was like a toy. You know, you put the little marble in and you spin it, and then it would go around and around, and it would like land on, you know, you would guess. It'd say, I think it's going to land on, you know, red 11 or something. And it lands, and if it's on red, then you get so many points, and if it's on, you know, it's like roulette. So it has this, you know, this wheel. It's like the I Ching, and there's 64 numbers, and oh, it's just, so anyway, but yeah, so I was into that, and then it says like, here are your, you know, like when you're living according to yourself, you're this way, and if you're not, you respond this way. I'm like, I could have told you that. All right. So apparently, you know, I have to do this, which is what I'm doing. I need to inspire and uplift and, you know, do my little dance for you so you feel happy. I'm so supposed to get out here and make a fool of myself, which somehow is going to change the world for the better. So I offer this to you. Yeah. So, but if if somebody interrupts me when I'm in the middle of, creating, and I know this, or if I'm counting on being alone and left alone, and somebody's in my face and they want me to be with them, doing what they want me to do, apparently my not self responds with frustration and anger. Oh my gosh, really? Said nobody who's ever lived with me, known me ever. Ooh, pretty leaves. Look at those pretty leaves. Aren't they nice? So anyway, isn't this nice? I made my own daytime. So I guess there's this guy, Zacchaeus, the tax collector again. He's up in the tree. Because, so one thing about me, it said I'm a mountain. Back to the human design. It says I'm a mountain, right? So I have to go live somewhere up on a mountain. Or, that's why when I used to work in like buildings, I would like to have a little cubby, and I like to look out, have a window, so I could see all the little people walking, but they couldn't see me because the glass was tinted, right? There's a lot of that in Zazoo Plazz. Before I even did human design, I knew that about myself. I like to, be able to take a break, go to the window, and look out. So, but, so maybe Zacchaeus is a mountain type, he likes, some people, like my husband, they're maybe cave dwellers, he likes his man cave with the one door to get in and out so he can see you coming, He just bought himself a DVD of Office Space, and like his hero is the guy Milton, who's in the basement, keeps getting moved, like to the supply closet, and then with all the boxes, and then the guy, moves him to the basement, and he's got his little red stapler down there, and I was told that I would be able to keep my desk. They told me that I was not going to be moved again. I'm going to be able to keep my desk and my little red stapler. Anyway, and then the guy's you know what? I need you to, look after those cockroaches. I've seen a few cockroaches scurrying around here, and I need you to. So anyway, Zacchaeus, he wants to see. So he's a mountain guy. He's like, just. Maybe he couldn't get tickets on the floor, so he had to go up here. He got the cheap seats, but he figured out a way to, get out on the balcony somehow and, get a good view. Jesus coming by. Except, he's up in a tree. So he said, Sycamore. I don't even know. See, my son, the environmental science major, is up at UConn, and I bet he knows what a sycamore tree looks like. Because for his midterm last week, he had to memorize the names of all these trees, And he said, Mom, there's a lot of trees. I don't even know what a sycamore tree looks like. Maybe I should ask him. I mean, you could Google it, I guess. But anyway, so this guy, and my son is Zachary, and this guy is Zacchaeus. So apparently he knew what the best tree was. So he scurried up the tree, and to see Jesus go by. And he got rid of half his money, right? So and then he got a good perspective. He had the idea that if he could just, kind of, he wanted to see, he wanted to get the higher perspective, to see the forest, not just the trees. He didn't want to just be one of many. He wanted to get a perspective that could help him see what was going on. In other words, you could be in the crowd and you could be, jostling and push this way and that way, right? As the light comes through. Or you could take a perspective. You could choose to go a little bit higher, and then Jesus told him to come down, and he went and had dinner at Zacchaeus' house. Maybe he had an Airbnb or something. But so he said, "No, I'm going over to your house. Trick or treating at Zacchaeus' house." I said, "Wow, that's kind of cool." So, because he, it's kind of like me coming up to my birthday. Say, you know what? I'm getting rid of the stuff that I used to hold on to that was keeping me from seeing the big picture, from seeing, all the stuff that either the, relationships or relationships to things also hold us back, to habits. I'm a very habitual person. I gotta go to bed at 1:30 every morning. Get up at 1:30 no, 11:30 every morning. Not too bad. But, then I'll go and do that for a while, and then like my dad called me up the other day. He's like, "Oh, it's your birthday this next week." He said, "Do you want me to send you a check or cash? Should I bring it by the mailbox or should I put it in the mail?" And I said, "Okay, well, whatever you like, Dad. I don't want to impinge and put you out." He said, "Well, I got my fiddle group. I got my band practice on Thursdays, and I got my fiddle group at the French-Canadian place with Jacques and Jean and this other guy playing the quadrille and stuff." He said, "Well, and then you got church, and he's busy, So I said, "Dad, I think maybe I'll just bring over some Chinese food on my birthday and go eat with Dad or something." But anyway, yeah, where was I? Oh, Zacchaeus. Yeah, so I started going, Sycamore, Sycamore, sick no more, Sycamore, Sycamore. I said, wait a minute, there was a song in the 80s that had sycamore in it. Then I'm like, the sycamore tree, something about a sycamore. Oh, Terrence Trent D'Arby. He changed his name now, but it's Sananda Maitri or something. Sananda Maitri, sitting under my tree. So I pulled that up. June 1987 it was released, right after I graduated college. Can you believe that? 35 years ago. It reached, oh, this is great. All right, it reached #1 on the soul chart. The soul chart. All souls. On the soul singles, and it was on the Billboard Hot 100, May 7th, 1988. Certified gold record. Wishing well. And I said, oh, that's perfect. And it has something about Valentine's, Cupid and Valentine's in there. Now, I know the way this comes out, you're like, what? And huh? I mean, I am too. I just throw things out there as they come to me. And then what I do later is I go back and it makes sense somehow. It's like puzzle pieces put together over time. And that's the way I'm sort of creating my life. So bear with me. I know I'm an acquired taste. not for everybody. I don't sit down and script or anything. I mean, this is all off the top of my head. I'm entirely in the present moment. So yeah, so I thought, oh, the fact that this song comes through, wishing well, somebody's wishing me well. Maybe it's Mom for my birthday. But the cool thing, so lately I've been getting a lot of stuff through dreams. And it says, I read a little bit about Trent D'Arby. He said that this song was written when he was half asleep and half awake. He said he woke, I guess he was still in that, that period where you wake up and you're not quite, ready to get up. You're kind of hazy, and that's when you can still remember your dreams. That's the time when people can do like quantum healing and stuff like that. There are all those people online that do that stuff. It sounds really cool, but really scary. Like, to me, that's the kind of stuff that scares the crap out of me on Halloween. I don't need to dress up. When I was a kid, my parents, I would just go in the den and get out the Ouija board. And apparently that was dangerous, but my parents bought me a Ouija board to play with. I'd have friends over. We'd sit around cross-legged and we'd move the thing. And I know somebody was always moving it. And, then we'd end up giggling, and it was just, I never felt any, evil spirits or anything. Maybe I just knew how to use it to get answers. But that's how I was as a kid. I was the kind of kid who would, close all the blinds during the day and listen to my Hitchcock record. My husband found it recently. He was playing it on it. We got a little record player, and he was playing some of the music, some of the little Hitchcock stories for young people that I used to scare myself with. I was not a child who needed comforting. I was more often the one to comfort. I used to, I'd see kids at school who looked like they were having a bad day, and I would I'd go over and hang out with them and have them over, And I saw something online this week. It said, if you feel like you've gone your whole life without nurturing or comforting, if it's been hard, that means that you are the comforter. You are the nurturer. Like, who knew? I was, as a kid, always drawn to tough people. And maybe I didn't attract them any more than most people, but I felt their energy more, What was that? I think one of my asteroids, the Sabian symbol was like Maleficent, that queen of, she's like a witch, put a spell on Sleeping Beauty or something, because she wasn't invited to the party. Apparently I have that in one of my degrees, so I could dress up like Maleficent, like Angelina Jolie in that movie. So, you go your whole life thinking you're one thing, and then you start finding out that you're the exact opposite. You think you're Sleeping Beauty, and then when you're just turning 57, you find out you're frickin' Maleficent. Or maybe I used to be Sleeping Beauty, and now I'm Maleficent. I don't know. It's all kind of cool. Strangely compelling. Some people are frightened by, what they are. Yeah. It's pretty creepy finding that stuff out about myself. But also really cool, because then you can you can use that to map out your life. You'd say, well, I don't need to do that anymore. I tried that. That didn't work. Let's try this. Apparently that's what I'm here for. I'm in research and development. I'm here to kick the tires and hack stuff and, you know, I had some kitties. I have a doggy. What am I going to get next? Who knows? But, yeah, you know, if you think about it, it's not much different from Zacchaeus. What you need to get to a higher point in life, you know, to advance, is you need to get rid of some stuff that you don't need. You need to figure out, you know, where do you need to give back? Like he had to give back money, right, that he took from people. What do you need, you know, to do for yourself? What do you need to do for other people to make things right? Airplane. And, you know, and then, you know, how can we be merciful and compassionate in a world of, you know, people who that are all having their own difficulties? You know, everybody else wanted to see Jesus too. But they're all like, oh, look at him over there. How easy it is to judge when we think we're in a superior position. Here he is up the tree, but he's the one that everybody was kind of putting down. Isn't that ironic? You know? He was the ones we ostracize very often, for whatever reason. You know, and maybe they're the ones who have the most experience, the most growth, because they realize how flawed they are. If you're going along thinking you're doing just fine, you know, maybe there's room for improvement. You know, having mercy and compassion for those who are, you know, even for those who are calling you out because you're not doing what they're doing. They want to pull you down. They want to, you know, put you in a little box. They want you to put yourself in a little box so that they can line you up with the other little boxes. Do their little thing with you. No. Anyway, well, there's a Three Musketeers bar in the cabinet in the dining room calling my name. I better go and reserve a few because you know, sometimes you get through Halloween and there's nothing left. It's just a blur. Kids start coming. Other people not getting their hands on my candy. I don't need much, just a couple. You know, I think I'm gonna go see that movie, the new Julia Roberts, George Clooney movie for my birthday. GP's gonna take me. He says he's gonna take me Tuesday night to see that. It just came out. So that should be something to look forward to. So anyway, it's Samhain. I enjoyed this weekend. David S. Pumpkins came back to Saturday Night Live. Anyway, gotta go. I'm gonna have some leftover enchiladas I made the other night. I was gonna make butternut squash soup, but I have to use up the leftover enchiladas But I am going to make some this week. Maybe I'll bring some over to my dad when I go on my birthday. But may you have a happy and safe Halloween. And enjoy all the festivities and the moon. And I'm wishing you well in the week to come. See you next week. Zazoo Plazz signing out. Bye-bye. Ooh.